nervous, automated, like data running through my veins. Got you distracted, subconscious overloaded. Careful, don't pull the cord on me. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, restricted access. I'm just a flight to get up here. We love discharging. I'm gonna waste my time with someone slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating. I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over 'cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Rewind my circuits, but you don't get that courage, 'cause you can handle my game. No, my drive's a puzzle. I got you so bumfuzzled, 'cause you can fall into my pain. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, restricted access. I'm just a flight to get up here. We love discharging. I'm gonna waste my time with someone slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating. I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over 'cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. I won't waste my love on your heart. Sorry, 'cause I can't get what I want, and I don't need you. Discharging, I'm gonna waste my time with someone slowing me down, 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 down. So high, I'm floating. I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over 'cause you can't take my crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. My crown. I'll always be 10 feet off the ground. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown. Can't take my crown.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello
Uh,
again. Hey, overtime
so-
stop the fires.
If you guys have never been here before, we will need to clarify some stuff here at the very beginning. The first of which is not just that we are a podcast that airs every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, and occasionally we interview streamers, but that the names you see, there are actually two different types of name orders that you're looking at right now. So what you want to pay attention to is the names, the inner names, not the outer names, which has
Yes,
Morgan and
the names that disappear and come back are the ones that you need to pay attention to, not
starting on the top right with the person who most likely brought you here is Melly, a wonderful variety streamer.
Hello again.
And it was actually on her stream that a drunk Trevor
Yes.
came up with the idea for this podcast in the first place. And that brings us to the bottom right with Sober Trev, who runs
Very
the show
much so.
around here.
But how do we
and
know for sure?
As far as we know.
He makes sure that all the technical details run smoothly. He makes sure that Jason Derulo has his due.
Yes.
And most importantly, he is really responsible for. I think Trev more than anyone was responsible for getting us excited about all playing Monster Hunter. I had owned the game for some long time before that, but it wasn't until I met Trev and started hanging out with him that I really got into the game, and we all started playing it together. Bottom left there is the wonderful, beautiful, and talented Morgan, who is also a streamer, and you can find a link to her channel in the.
And I don't think
description below.
she's eating on this cast, is she?
I was.
there's-
Oh,
but
you
I'm
were.
not.
Oh.
No, not anymore. Yeah,
That's an important piece of lore. for
Unless you
people
want
who,
to, count.
You still have how many Hershey's Kisses do you go through?
Oh, you have no idea. And
I never run out.
If you want to learn all about voice acting and JRPGs, her channel is the channel to follow. On the top left, that's me. I'm Rory, known to some as Toctopus. If you want to hear
Or
a
to
man
other
ramble
people,
about
Puss Puss.
Puss occasionally, on
Always
occasion.
works.
To me, it is my love.
You're sweet. And if you want to learn all about stealth games and test lore and science, then you can follow me, and hopefully I'll be able to teach you about at least one of those things.
And by test, he means the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, Elder
For
Scrolls.
any
yes.
of you who didn't
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah,
right
it's, not-
there.
it's probably not ubiquitous enough that I can
Yeah.
just say 10 have everyone understand, unfortunately. But no guest today, so it's just the four of us. So, Melly, actually, I wanted to ask you. You obviously just came in here with the raid. You're playing more Resident Evil 7. You're still enjoying it, I take it, quite a bit.
I am. So I finished the main story, Resident Evil 7, a couple weeks ago, and so I've been working my way through the DLC. So tonight I did the Daughters DLC, which basically, how much do you know about Resident Evil 7?
Me, nothing.
Okay, so basically it's the DLC I played tonight is an origin story for the villains.
Okay, yeah.
That's as much I'll say in case
That's,
you ever play it.
That's always a great idea is to do origin stories for villains, because I feel like most of the time you don't get that backstory and understand why they're the villain. So, there's something
Especially,
interesting
I feel
there.
like especially in Resident Evil games, a lot of time. I mean, you know that there's some kind of virus or something, and you know, it takes over whoever. But I felt like this was one of the better done origin stories for Resident Evil, baddies, so to speak. So, hey, C-Mac, what's up?
Hello, C-Mac. Welcome to the podcast.
And then I played Sadistic Saw Blackjack
21,
again. I still cannot beat it for some reason. I played 3 rounds tonight.
I
so
remember
I'll get
Ash
it
was
eventually.
really into that at some point. I think a couple of her streams were just 21 for
She said she did
hours.
50 hours of it.
yeah. No, I
Wait,
remember
really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she logged 50 hours playing
damn.
blackjack. But
I mean,
Resident-
Blackjack is a fine game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it is on the books as being addictive. So I guess that makes some amount of sense. But
That's
usually
why.
there's
That's why
real
they're
money
in
involved.
casinos. Yeah.
yeah, but she said apparently she did 50 hours. I don't know if that was all on stream, but she did 50 hours.
I feel like most of it was on stream.
Trevor's I remember. I was there.
Because that was the time where I didn't have to do anything.
Hi, Gorg.
Chat was really calm, and I was like, all right, cool.
Cork says, "How are you surprised?" I guess that's a good point.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I think this happens a lot when I play games. Whenever it's the most recent game I played, I'm like, this is my favorite game, But I think this is honestly, I really do think this is one of the strongest Resident Evil games that have been put out. So, yeah, I've really been. It's definitely in the top. Tier
You've
for
played
me.
6, right?
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, 6 is considered the worst.
I don't know what
No.
you're talking about. 6 is a freaking masterpiece.
You liked 6 better than 5. Because didn't you say that 5 was the one that you liked the least so far?
Yeah, 5.
Out in the main line?
I mean, I still had fun playing it, but I feel like I can objectively say that it's not one of the better ones.
So we'll eventually we'll try to get Decker on here actually, because I believe he actually loves Resident Evil 6. I think that's actually, and I believe he defends it as one of the most historically underrated games.
I honestly, I think that might. I mean, I just had a fun experience. It must be played co-op. Number one, I think anybody who had a negative experience with it
Corey
probably
just described Melly and Ash's playthrough.
Oh my goodness. Who has over 500 to 2,000 hours of hunk runs clocked in? Yeah. Yeah, no, 6 is great. If you're playing it with a friend and you got some White Claws, like I would say that was one of the most fun gaming experiences I've ever had. And I'm not exaggerating. I had a blast playing Resident Evil 6. I don't know if it was actually a great game, but I had fun.
Well, you know why I said 6 is like considered the worst? Because that's what Travis told me from Tiff's. Because I know he really likes those, and like he's really
I know he's
so
a huge.
like, he told
Travis
me
is
it
an
was
old
bad.
school RE fan. The thing about Travis you have to bear in mind is that like Travis is probably, and I don't want to speak for him without him being here, but he's probably amongst the group of people that didn't like the more actiony direction that Resident Evil started to take. Like people always say about Resident Evil that sometimes 4 is the best and worst thing to happen to the series because it was such a good game. It got ported to so many different consoles. It was so ubiquitous, but it also was a more action direction, and I think that they embraced that more in 5 and 6 than afterwards. And the people who liked, who grew up with Resident Evil with like the tank, I'm talking tank controls Resident Evil here, like our original RE1 and RE2, like a lot of them really did not respond well to that. I would guess that Travis is among them. Kaiser, holy shit, hey, how's it going?
I think the thing I liked about 6 is that it is very much just an action game, but it fully commits to it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I think that everything that you could want in an action game is in. There's like motorcycle chases, car chases, boss fights, just like straight up shooting helicopters down, shooting zombies. Like it's just like balls to the wall action the whole time, and it's in the Resident Evil universe. It was fun. I think with 5, some of the boss fights weren't as well designed. Like some of the writing is a little iffy. Like I still don't know who the villain was or what they were doing. You know what I mean?
When it's not clear, I feel like
I'm just shooting zombies in Africa. That's all I knew.
It's
I was
pretty
doing.
bad.
So with Resident Evil 7, you said that you felt like this one kind of got more to like the nitty gritty kind of like survival horror type. Right?
Yeah, I think for me, okay, this is how I chart out my Resident Evil journey. So the very first Resident Evil game I played was Resident Evil 4. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Honestly, I think it's a good balance of survival horror. So it's that feeling of isolation where all you have is just like a couple of bullets and you got to figure out these puzzles and you gotta make your way through it. I think, but it's also balanced with a lot of really cool action sequences. So I feel like it's a good balance of both. I enjoyed it, but it didn't necessarily turn me into the fan of the series. It was basically like, oh, I enjoyed that game, and I never thought to like play any other Resident Evil games. I played 5 shortly afterward as a co-op, and I think I got through chapter 1 and I was like, I don't like this. So I never finished it. And then that was on PS3. I played Resident Evil 4 on the PS2 and then Resident Evil 5 on the PS3. Didn't touch Resident Evil for years until last year when Ash convinced me to play Resident Evil 1 Remaster. And that was the game that for me, it actually clicked why Resident Evil is like a big deal. So I really enjoyed it. It was more from what Resident Evil 4 was, just this strict survival horror plus the puzzles. There's not like a ton of action in that game. It's more about like this mystery of you're in this mansion, you got to try to figure out what you're doing, and you're alone for most of it. And so I just thoroughly enjoyed that game. And so that I think Resident Evil 1 was what turned me into a fan of Resident Evil in general.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great game, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
and the remakes prove how great it is. Honestly, like the remakes like expose people to the potential of that series. I think.
yeah. And so
That's
now
really
I'm
interesting.
told, yeah. And then I think for me, because I wasn't Resident
Podcast because Trev.
Oh,
hosts
No, I
this thing.
I accidentally fucked up and went on my phone and clicked something, but we're back.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, Kaiser,
Hi, everybody. Hi,
I
Tater.
just downloaded Code
Hey, Tater.
Veronica.
What's up?
So that I haven't played Code Veronica yet. So I think in the month leading up to Resident Evil 3 remake, I want to play a little bit of Code Veronica, and I do want to do a hardcore run of Resident Evil 2 remake. So that's probably coming down the pipeline, assuming my internet doesn't get turned off in 2 weeks. So
I feel like a lot of people, by the way, had your experience with RE4, where they played that because it was so popular, of course, right? Like everyone played
well, it's
that.
been
and
on
they're
every
like,
single console.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, "Oh, I'm a fan of this game." I definitely feel like before, like back in 2012 and stuff like that, and pre Fallout 4, like a lot of people didn't play Fallout New Vegas, but they had played Fallout 3, and a lot of people just but they never touched Fallout 1 and 2. Like Fallout 3 was that game for the Fallout series for a lot of modern fans, where they're like, I like Fallout 3, but some of them were unaware there was even a Fallout 1 and 2 because they came out in the 90s, and so like Fallout 3 comes out in 2008, and everybody's like, this game called Fallout 3. Like full title Fallout 3, like not a title in an incrementing number.
Why doesn't no one play original Resident Evil 2?
Because
I'm
it's
not
a remake
opposed to.
now.
Well, I'm not opposed to going back and playing the original one. Is that even possible on?
Yes.
I think it is.
Do I need without an emulator? Because I don't have an emulator.
Well, I don't know if it's possible on a console. I don't know if they have a version of it.
Yeah, I don't know if they do.
You probably just had to emulate it. You can just download it.
And then I
Or
remember,
just get the old version of it.
I remember K-Apocalypse a couple months ago, who's on our stream team. I watched her because she was playing the original Resident Evil 3. And I remember asking her in her chat, I was like, how are you playing this right now? And she said that essentially it was very complicated.
I think it's
Caster. We're
Yeah.
Caster, yeah.
It is Caster, yeah.
She had to track down a CD-ROM of it, and she installed it on her PC. And it was kind of rare to find. Like, you have to kind of, find it from from a used video game store or something. And she installed it from CD-ROM, and that's how she played it.
Installed it from CD-ROM? Damn. That's how you know it's old.
I don't, because it's not available on CD.
Any older would have been like, you had to get the floppy disk, and it was like,
Yeah, the
what?
floppy
Literally, yeah.
So she somehow tracked down this copy of Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil 3, and that's how she played it. But
My gosh.
Damn, what? I still remember Final Fantasy
Corrupt.
having multiple discs on PC. Like that was, I always remember the little thin case with all the discs on it for the PC version of that. Hey, Corrupt, how's it going?
is it
Good
cool?
to see
Is
you.
it gory? I tried to look for it, and I didn't. I mean, maybe I didn't look hard enough. Maybe I
Yeah,
didn't-
Kaiser, you're right. If you never played with the tank controls, going to the tank controls can be kind of rocky for people.
That was my
the
experience
fixed
with,
fixed camera
Dark
angle
Souls.
was difficult. Oh, with Dark Souls.
Yeah, because they did the remaster for 1, and after playing 3, it felt so much more clunky.
Yeah, the
once
fixed
you get those
camera
quality
angles.
of life changes.
The fixed camera angles were really tricky to get used to, and I think even throughout the whole game, I still was getting turned around and didn't know how to turn corners.
So, do you think you'll play any of the other Resident Evil games, like the Resident Evil Revelations, or
I
any of
forgot.
those?
I played
Outbreak.
Revelations. I played Revelations 2.
I forgot there
there
were side
the
games.
first one.
Because, there's like Code Veronica, Revelations.
Yeah,
I
there's a
will play
lot
Code
of those side
Veronica.
games.
It was actually on sale on the PlayStation Store last week. It was like $7.49 for Code
I think they had the
Veronica.
Capcom sale, that's why.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there was a Capcom sale. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. By the way, for anyone in the chat right now who likes Sega games and has a PC, at the very least, Steam is having a big Sega sale right now. Actually, you know what? PlayStation might be having the same sale. Actually, I think it's Sega's
Ooh,
like
it's the same.
like one of their standard sales that they do every year. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's
Well, hey, if
the best of Japan sale. I'm pretty sure it's happening also on PS4.
Well, hey, if they are going to be doing Sega games also on PlayStation, this is a great opportunity for me to talk up the Yakuza series, which I just started playing another one of. Everybody should please play the Yakuza series. It's very good.
Oh yeah, what did you start?
I finally started Yakuza 3, and I started crying.
You start crying. Why did you start crying?
There's just this little cute, sad part, and it's sweet at the same time, and it just overwhelmed me. It got me.
Aw.
But yeah, please play the Yakuza games. Yakuza 0 is where I would say to start, and that's actually where I started, and it was real good. I liked it a lot.
Okay, hold on. I have one of them.
That is where I am starting as well.
I'd probably
I can say
start
at the very
with,
least, the first 2 hours are very good.
Kiwami,
I have
or
this-
the
I have
one
this
that's like
You got Yakuza 6? When did you get this?
I've had this for it's not mine, it's John's. But I said I was gonna start off with 6, and everybody was like, "No, you can't do that. You must play all 5 other ones." And I'm like, I guess I'm never.
Why are you surprised that people reacted that way when you said I'm going to start off with the 6th of something?
I don't know. Okay,
I'm going to start with Return of the Jedi. Like, no.
Yeah, but haven't you
love
done that
you.
before? Because you watch them in like a weird order every time.
Yeah, but because I've seen them 100 times.
Like, that's the thing. I think with a lot of games I've jumped in on, I haven't had a bad experience just jumping into the middle of a franchise. Okay, so like Uncharted, I started with Uncharted 2.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you started with 3. I was like, oh.
No, I started with Uncharted 2. Didn't even like, and then I played 3, then I played 4, and then I went back and played 1. And I was like, wow, 1's kind of.
Well, that's what
So-
Ash did. What's Devil May
That
Cry.
Bioshock
She did 5.
Infinite. I played Bioshock Infinite first.
That's okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As a huge
Like-
Bioshock fan, I have to. I'll endorse that is okay. Yeah.
Well, like I
That's
would
what
say,
Gorg agrees with me.
well, I
Okay,
would say
that's
like for
the best
Uncharted
one.
2. Like I'd say like for Uncharted 2, okay, that's okay. But like Melly, you're literally at the end of the series. You don't
I,
wanna
Okay,
start
here's
at
the
the
thing.
end.
Here's the thing. I appreciate any franchise. It doesn't matter if it's Marvel Cinematic Universe, Star Wars, video games. I appreciate when you can just jump into a franchise and it like. Yes, it would help to see to have experienced the rest of it, but it's a good enough thing where it can stand alone as a unique experience.
That's
So
actually,
that-
I mean, that's true. It might get
But
you
that's
like
why I-
really into the
So
series.
kind of like
And-
God of War, how like you didn't need to play the previous ones, but if
Right.
you did, it would help with the story. But that's about
faking.
it.
How are you? It's good to see you, man.
I'm faking.
Start with Friday the 13th part.
I mean, honestly, like in all seriousness, I mean, it's a good idea to start from the beginning, just because the storyline of Yakuza is so like in depth, I guess, that all of them tie together. But honestly, like if you want to play them, definitely play them. Start anywhere, because like Yakuza 6 in particular is gorgeous. Like the every time I read FF, I always think Final Fantasy, and I saw Tokyo Drift just now, and I was like, Final
That'd be a
Fantasy
good
Tokyo
crossover.
Drift.
That'd be a good
Oh.
crossover.
They're already heading in that direction. So
Okay, I have another example. I never played original Red Dead, but I played
That's
Red Dead
true, yeah.
Redemption 2, which was an incredible game.
Oh,
know-
I thought you meant you had originally never played Red Dead Revolver, and I'm like, yeah, nobody did. It's okay, but you meant
Oh.
original Red Dead Redemption.
yeah, I never played
Okay.
original Red Dead
Right.
Redemption. I just jumped into Red Dead Redemption 2. So in some way, which is actually a
Right, it's a
ends up being
prequel.
That's a
prequel.
prequel, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
like,
it's
can
almost
come-
like
yeah.
I watched episodes
Princess Koopa's
One-
fallen.
1
1,
through
2, and
3
3 of Star Wars.
of
Yeah.
Star Wars, which is some people's experience. I mean, like not like
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
how I
I'm
started.
just-
Wait, no.
Yes.
That's not how I started.
Did-
Never mind. I saw 4, 5, and
but
6,
a lot
and
of
saw
people,
one,
I
2, 3.
think, like if that was if you were just coming up and appreciating movies like I guess it's in the 90s, is right? It was the prequels came out. That might have been that's a lot of people's first experience with Star Wars was the prequels,
Yeah.
and that's okay. You know,
They're the best
Hey,
ones.
Koopa.
And if anyone says otherwise, you can fight me.
Pistols at Dawn.
Well, you're going to be getting in a lot of fights then, Trev, I believe.
Yeah, you see those?
Hi, Eric.
That's why I
Yeah,
have
Eric guest
those.
this week.
Oh, Eric? Oh, shit. Hey, Eric, how are you?
Yeah, Eric. So since you've been on, we've not had anyone in the middle, so we said fuck it, and we're not having guests ever again.
Yep.
Me and Eric get to hang out pretty soon, which should be a good time.
And Melissa, right?
I get
Yes.
hang out.
Wow.
Right.
Too.
Didn't
Yeah.
even include.
Feels bad, man.
Ooh.
Just kidding. Wait, Kaiser. Okay, there is a line. I do have standards. Kaiser, you started with Half Blood Prince.
And ended it there. That
Which
was
one
great.
is that? The 6th one?
But,
I don't.
but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I feel like all the Harry Potter books are individually so good. Yes, it's way better experience if you read everything from the beginning. But I still think that they're individually good books. And so if you jump in at one, I'm not going to judge you.
I think I only ever read the
Yeah,
second
I mean,
one.
there's different storylines, so I completely get that one.
That's the boring one, Trev. My favorite is Order of the Phoenix. That's my favorite one.
I actually really liked and the movie also. I think my favorite one, book and movie, was Chamber of Secrets. Actually, I really liked that one.
That was my favorite because it had a giant snake, and that's the only
Of course
reason.
you would like
That's the reason.
Snake.
The Slytherin would choose the one with the snake.
Yeah, that's the only
Wait,
reason.
do we know all of our Hogwarts houses?
We
Trevor, you're
do.
Slytherin.
Yeah, I'm Slytherin.
Trevor's a Slytherin, Melly and I are both Ravenclaws,
Ravenclaw.
and Morgan is a Hufflepuff.
I am a Hufflepuff, yes.
We don't have
We
one
don't-
Gryffindor.
We need anybody Gryffindor will take some applications.
Tiff!
Tiff. Yeah, Tiff.
Oh yeah, she's been
There
on
we
here.
go.
So yeah.
Yeah. And,
Prisoner of Azkaban. Honestly, Eric, I'm not even joking. That movie is probably one of my favorite Harry Potter
that's my
movies.
favorite of the movies, actually.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it is one of the best directed.
my roommate's actually also a Gryffindor.
Oh.
And-
But she doesn't watch it, so I mean, we need someone who's like here and active.
yeah. There's one stats test in between me and the boys.
Yeah, I want to
Well,
know
I'm-
everybo's Hogwarts house. So
Yeah,
Princess
yeah,
is a Hufflepuff.
Oh, Tim. Don't try to shout out Ninja. It's mod only.
Tim has an unrelated. How are you, Tim? It's good to see you, man.
Your ghost animal, isn't it Patronus?
Patronus, yeah. I think I looked mine up. I think mine's a dolphin.
Mine's something lame. It's like a swallow.
I think mine was a dolphin.
Mine's a
Like,
harmless
okay.
bird.
But I
Oh,
like birds.
before we
They're little and cute.
I forget the word.
Delve into the news.
No, before we deviate too far from
Yeah.
our Resident Evil combo, I was gonna bring up. You said that Resident Evil 6 was really actiony. Now, I don't think anyone here but Rory would know this, but was that around the same time they started making the first Devil May Cry? Because if so, that would make sense. Because that's when they tried to incorporate.
No,
those
that
two.
was much later.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah.
That
Yeah, because
would
Devil
have
May
been like.
first Devil May Cry was PS2, and
So was the second.
yeah,
And the third.
Yeah,
and the third.
And the third.
Meanwhile, Resident Evil 5 and 6 were both PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah, the fourth,
okay,
the
alright.
fourth DMC would have been more close. Well, the fourth DMC was one of the first games of the PS3, at least, as I recall.
I think it
What
was a
was that?
launch title,
Uh,
wasn't it?
It might have been because I remember playing the demo for it like immediately when the PS3 came out. DMC 4 is still my favorite. So this is really interesting because I think this is one of those opinions that's actually really popular.
It was
but
not
people
a
don't
launch
know
title.
about it.
Oh.
Like it was not. Okay, it must have been slightly after then.
I think the
but
first
yeah.
one was 2002. It was
Yeah,
2001
something
or
like that.
2000.
Well, Eric,
Eric, get the
is
fuck
just
out.
here
You know, he's saying that 'cause it-
just to get clean.
Okay. This might be a controversial question for everybody, but like, me never having played a Devil May Cry game, if I were to play one Devil May Cry game,
I would recommend 3.
5.
which
They'd
one
say
should I
5.
do?
Wait, really? Not
Really?
3? Because 3 holds up
I-
so well.
Now
3
I'd
has,
say 5.
Oh,
Now I'd
really?
say
Right.
5. Honestly, like so.
2001
Melly,
was when it came out, actually.
Yes.
So Melly, like I think the general consensus best one is 3. 4
Okay.
is like a really was like a really close second, and honestly, like I was a little worried for 5 because it's coming off of the 2 strongest ones, and it
Right.
was so unbelievably good, and the presentation and the look is so good that I think for modern gamers, that I think 5 is probably the best one to jump into.
Okay.
So there's
And
different like
honestly-
I'll
reasons.
take that away for later.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
I would like to hear
for-
those reasons.
If you want like one with more mechanics and stuff, I'd say 4 special edition because you can play as 5 different characters.
Yeah.
But if you want one for
Um,
like story and just like basic stuff, then I'd say 5.
DMC 1 is a bit difficult to play, also.
Yes.
From what I noticed.
Because that game is
Um,
aged and you can tell.
Yeah. Play
Play
Bayonetta.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
hold on.
scared
Alright,
of Ben-
Kaiser,
scared of
I'm
Bayonetta.
gonna fucking destroy you.
Oh,
So-
I was gonna say I'm more scared of Trev at this point because
So Kaiser, I'm not gonna die on this hill with you because I happen to slightly prefer DMC, but I will say Bayonetta is still a top level action game. So for those of you who don't know the story, Bayonetta was from the designer of DMC 1. So he went off and made Bayonetta later on, Platinum Games, and then the designer of DMC 2 made a tragedy in DMC 2.
Yes.
And then he was like, you know what? I'm not going to be remembered as the guy who made this piece of shit. And then he made DMC 3, and it was fucking amazing. And he's been with the series ever since. So they're both like sort of like the the kings of action games. So
He turned around his legacy.
he turned around his legacy, yeah, and in a really
Only
good way.
Game of
so-
Thrones could have done that and not been.
Oh.
Oh,
I
why
gotta
you
bring
gotta
that up.
Oh my god.
Because it
So,
fit.
you
It was
guys-
fitting.
Hey, Sai, how you doing, man? I didn't hear
It
you.
hurts.
Oh, hi, Sai.
So for you guys who are like, what do I want to play, DMC or Bayonetta? They're honestly both
Yeah,
really
too
good.
soon.
Bayonetta's hard. People don't realize how hard Bayonetta can be to like get a good rating at the end of a mission. Like if you're new
Yeah,
to the
so
game.
Rory saw most of my playthrough of the Bayonetta, and like
You played
every
that whole thing,
single
right?
one, I was getting stone ratings, and which is like the lowest. And then I switched it
Yeah.
to easy because I said, "Fuck this game." I started getting silver. I couldn't even get gold.
Because the thing is, because you have to understand, Trev is a very seasoned player of action games. He played the DMC style character action games. He's played the Dark Souls style slower paced action games. Like ideally, Bayonetta should have been a slam dunk. But
Yeah,
like,
it should have
the
been easy, but
mechanics
it wasn't.
Totally didn't connect with them. D&D, yeah. So I really like Pathfinder. I have never played 5th edition. I haven't played D&D in years, but we actually might. Well, we might do some D&D with some people here. I know Melly's always.
You guys are
really
gonna hear my dogs
D&D.
barking. Sorry.
The Bayonetta has that bitchin' soundtrack. I'm not inclined to disagree with that. Action games have great soundtracks. Fun fact: if you guys are looking for games with great soundtrack, play a.
I feel like they kind of need to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, like with all the action that's going on, like you kind of need like a really kind of like good soundtrack
Yeah.
to go along with
Same
that.
with fighting games. Honestly, like people like it. There was a really good interview with Daisuke Ishwatari who did the Guilty Gear fighting game
Morgan
series.
has played Astral Chain.
I have played Astral Chain. It is so good.
That game looked amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So-
it looks so good. I can't wait
Visually.
to get that. Honestly.
You guys were probably like encouraging me to
plugging
do
my
this,
laptop.
but that was one game I was like, man, I kind of wish I owned the Switch at this point.
Oh.
But it wasn't
we-
worth it
do we
for
wanna
me
get
then.
this?
We want to get Trev a Switch.
Let's all chip in.
I'm not gonna do it for one game.
So then do it for a bunch of games. Play Animal Crossing.
All right, if I'm getting a Switch, I'm not playing Animal Crossing.
I've
I don't
heard
know, Mario Kart.
I've
Smash.
heard that 50 is actually
Play
really good.
Bayonetta.
So Ishwatari said about Guilty Gear, like most of what he focuses on when making the game is like making it fun to play, like making you feel like an anime hero. And I think music is. He also does the soundtrack for his own games, which is amazing, because he's just the director, right? Like, I think honestly for action games and fighting games, like music is like it's like movies, right? Like if you watch a movie, your favorite movie, without the soundtrack, you'll be like, what the fuck is this?
It makes for
Like-
really awkward
Yeah,
scenes,
yeah.
especially in Star Wars. If you like, because someone on YouTube, because everyone on YouTube has ideas of, I don't know why you would do it, but someone has a channel dedicated to watching the fights without music and seeing how awkward they look. And for like
Ugh,
not just Star Wars,
hurts.
but for like any
That sounds like a terrible
movie.
name.
And I was just like, why did someone come up with this idea? And why did I think they had like over 50,000 subs? I was like, why do they have this many subs?
Damn, yeah.
Like, thanks, I hate this.
Yeah, essentially, I was just like, what the fuck?
It's kind of like watching sitcoms without the laugh
Oh, without the
tracks.
laugh track, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's watch literally any sitcom without the laugh track.
it's pretty cramped. It's just like,
Kind of disturbing. Like, not even just low key disturbing.
But you know
So
what though?
fun,
Like they're oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it was keep going. Tater just was bringing something up.
No, I was just gonna say though, like, but there are comedies that work really well without the laugh track, and that's when I like Arrested Development.
but I
like,
think those,
The
Yeah.
Office.
I think those
Parks and
work because
Recreation.
they weren't focused
The Good Place.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You can't take one. There's none with a laugh track that work without it, but there are a lot that work without it when they were written to work.
Without it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, because if you think about it, like, they have pauses in the scripts, like, for the laugh track.
the laugh
Like,
track.
they'll say something funny and silly, and then just stop, and then start going. See, right there, like that was awkward,
Yeah,
right?
like if you stop
Now imagine a
randomly,
laugh track.
I wonder how like that goes when you're acting out. Like you have to like stop and then let it happen, and then it's like, oh, okay, continue. It's like,
Yeah, I'm sure, like, as an actor, well, I mean, I actually do know this as an actor because I was in all of my school plays. There was one in particular that we did that, Like we actually did, because I was in quite a few of the comedies, and we actually did have to kind of gauge on when the audience was going to stop, or how they were going to feel about it. Because like if there was a particularly like really funny line that one of us just said, and we kind of got to keep going from it, because there are some lines where they end and it's funny, but in the middle of it, it's also funny. So they'll start laughing. So then we actually have to stop, because otherwise the audience isn't going to hear what like the rest of what we're going to say.
Yeah, they'll catch half and they'll be like, wait, what?
Yeah, so like, yeah, actually as an actor, you do have to do that. And especially for like filming. I mean, because when you're on stage, it's a little bit different. You can just look at the audience and be like, okay, so they're about to stop. I'm going to keep going now. But versus actually like having it filmed, like you have to have everything correct, like there's little things that you could do on the stage that maybe makes things a little bit different, but you can't really do that too much that's unscripted for TV shows, just because they, if they take too long, they're gonna have to cut some things off of it to make it like a 24-minute episode for like TBS or something, but yeah, like I totally get that, because I was in that. Right there, a laugh track would have worked.
Yes.
We should have that as like a
Look,
special
I'll have like I'll buy a
effect.
sound what is it, a soundboard
Like
at one point,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
just like
This is the
click
thing, every time
random
that someone
things.
makes a suggestion, we create new work.
Well, our stream deck. We'll have a stream
Yeah.
deck.
There'll be applause.
Oh wait,
there'll
overtime.
be
I
a-
wanted to. You were asking, as far as a Resident Evil 3 remake, would you like to see more or less DLC? Honestly, if the DLC is as high quality as like the Resident Evil 7 DLCs have been, I'd be down for way more. My favorite, honestly, to bring it back to Resident Evil 5, my favorite part about Resident Evil 5 was actually the DLC. So, yeah.
So
If
when
it's-
they
if it's
add
quality
DLC
content,
in
no.
the remake, is that brand new content, or is that like something that was on the original thing but they expanded upon?
I think it would be brand new content, wouldn't it? Like in terms for like Resident Evil 2, at least I would think. Because I don't know if there were like hunk runs in Resident Evil 2,
Yeah,
but I've not
honestly,
played the
like,
original,
yeah.
so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, they added new DLC. I don't know much. I don't know anything about the original Resident Evil 2, so I know hunk runs weren't on there. So, I'm assuming it would be brand new content. Yeah.
That's so
But,
strange though, because like if you remake a game and you add more to it, I mean, I guess that, because like if they're gonna keep that mindset for like future remakes and stuff, like if they're doing that with Final Fantasy VII, like what do you think they'd add to that? That's if they end up, because it's not gonna be on like one disc. It's gonna be split up into like what, 6 different or 5 different discs or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually true, Tater. That's part of what makes it a remake and not a remaster, because remastering it, like you can add little things, but if you add like a whole bunch of new stuff, I can understand that. Also, they've already confirmed that they're adding a lot to. Yeah, I actually have heard that too. for
Hopefully
Final
they
Fantasy
add
VII.
Crisis Core, because I really like that
Well,
storyline.
Speaking about Final Fantasy VII, Morgan.
Vove?
Hey, Vove!
Well, it would also be me, except that I forgot to download it. Morgan has played the Final Fantasy VII demo.
I
that is
did.
out right now. Morgan, opinion.
I loved it.
Did you play 15?
15? Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're already used
my,
to like combat and.
My PS4 is the Final Fantasy 15 themed one.
Oh.
I have the. It's dusty as heck because this controller doesn't work all that well anymore, but I got that.
I didn't know they made one for 15.
Yeah, I honestly just wish though that I had gotten just a PS4 Pro because it's just a regular one. but-
Oh, okay.
and-
So it was in that time period. Okay.
Yeah, and the controller is boring.
Hey, Gameology.
But it's pretty though. The system is actually pretty because it has like a big
compared to
etching on it.
the Monster Hunter one, this is the Monster Hunter one.
Ooh.
I also really want to get the Spider-Man one 'cause I actually really like Spider-Man controller.
Tiff has
Anyways,
that
but
one.
I know she does. It's
Yeah, she
awesome.
does, yeah.
I at least have the collector's edition. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, because those sold out fast.
Yeah, I was lucky that I got that. But
Just
yeah,
a- Just quick point of lore before you carry on. I want to know, where do I know Vove from? Is it Megan's
Yes,
or
that's
Fabled
Megan's.
Vixen?
Yeah, Megan's.
It's Megan's. Okay.
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 Yeah.
Carry on. Yeah.
Hi. But yeah, in terms of the, I did play Final Fantasy 15. I actually really liked it because I actually do really like hack and slash games. I like Verdant. Hi.
Verdant.
I like a whole bunch of different kinds of games. So most of the time, I tend to be okay with at least trying something new. So I was quite okay with Final Fantasy 15, and the graphics were really awesome. For me, the storyline lacked a bit, just because like it did feel shorter.
You mean for 15 or like the
for
demo?
15?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for 15. Felt pretty. It was pretty short compared to the other games. I mean, when you minus the driving around, doing all the side quests and
Well,
stuff like
quick
that.
question: did you play the Royal afterward, or did you only play the original?
So I didn't. I did
Okay.
play the Prompto story. I was actually kind of disappointed though after, because I was actually going to maybe get it, and then I heard that they just decided to stop with all the rest of the DLC, and I was sad because they were supposed to do an Aranea one and a Luna one, and that would have given a lot more insight into Luna. But
Yeah, I think they stopped at that enemy.
It was after Arden.
Yeah, Arden.
yeah. Now the Final Fantasy VII demo. What I noticed, so all of the Final Fantasy games, like traditionally, are sort of turn-based. It's a little bit different, but like you don't move around or anything. But it's not just like you sit, think about what you want to do, and then pick what you like Persona 5, for example. You know,
Yeah, it's not turn.
or Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest, where you choose what you want to do, you attack. Maybe one of your other teammates goes, you attack, and then an enemy attacks. But like if you sit just with the controller thinking, what am I going to do next? Nothing happens. Final Fantasy's not like that. You can't just sit and do nothing, because the enemies will just keep coming at you if you don't do anything. So Final Fantasy VII was obviously like that. Final Fantasy VII Remake is slightly different. There's hack and slash, but you can do different things with abilities and magic, which I actually kind of like the way that they did it. I kind of like it a little bit better than they did it in Final Fantasy 15. Ash!
Jane.
Hey.
That was Jane.
The man
It's a
they
reference
call
to Firefly.
Jane.
Jane obviously appears
3
to
out
play
of the
that
4 of
album.
us know that reference.
Yep.
Ash just comes in here singing.
So he was Robin Hood.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well-
No spoilers. Let's let Trev
That-
watch the
No,
14
okay, so
episodes of
I'm-
Firefly for himself.
I'm not watching it, but
What? You
You're
get
not
too long,
watching
didn't
the-
watch the shortest show ever.
One of the greatest sci-fi shows of all time.
I think Final Fantasy 15 was their proving ground. Yeah, I think it kind of was too, because I think a lot of people really kind of vibed with it just because of the hack and slash element.
I heard
Um,
7 was just like everything good about 15, but like better.
God damn it, Ash keeps like I keep trying to chime into the song.
Rory, you have the potential to destroy people in here. So you can just
Do you
do
have that on
and
like
then-
your clipboard or something? Do you just like copy and paste the lyrics? Like,
Yeah, get on Ash's level, Rory. Come on.
yeah.
You gotta get into more
Uh,
arguments online.
Good to see you,
That's
Ash. How are you?
But yeah, I do agree with Tater. Final Fantasy I honestly like really need to play more of it. I only got to play a bit of it when I was younger, and I never got it again just because I don't know what happened to the copy that I had. But I actually, now that it's on the Switch, I might actually get the Switch copy just so I can have it with me.
Hey Eternal, how are you? It's good to see
Of the
you.
original one. Eternal Fugue, hi! But yeah, they definitely have changed it a little bit, so you can actually move around the field now. And from what I've heard, though, I actually need to go back and play it again, because I only played through the demo once. I'm going to be playing through it a few times, just to kind of see, like, some things, like, maybe I missed. But there is a different mode, I guess, that you can do that I want to say maybe makes it where it is more like the original style.
Well, that was one of the rumors before
yeah.
they announced it, that there was going to be the free flowing combat style, and then there was going to be the the traditional style.
Your roommate's getting Animal Crossing? How did that
Has
happen?
Morgan interacted with your roommate? Because I feel like
Through Jedi Mind Trick. It's right there.
Yes.
The
Don't out me.
This is the
though.
game you were looking for.
Animal,
This is the
Animal,
game you're
Animal
looking
Crossing is
for.
very exciting. I am also very excited for the game. I have to say.
So we gotta get Melia, and then we just have to get Trev a Switch.
Operation
Look, if
Get
I
Travis
have a
Switch.
Switch, I'm no way in hell playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I
Yes,
feel like
he's
He's
Trev.
playing Ash. He's gonna
let's-
play Astral
whoa,
Chain. He's gonna
Hold
play
up.
Astral
Let's all remind ourselves that when we told Trev about Animal Crossing, he said, "Is there violence in it?"
Hey, there technically is. I told you guys about it. You can get stung by wasps, and you can take a bug catching net, and you can hit your villagers over the head with it until they get angry. So
Well,
So there's anger.
a,
There's
follow-
anger.
a follow-up question to that was me asking, can you rob your like neighbors and like steal and like disgrace them?
no.
Okay.
He's like, if so, then I'm interested. If not, forget it.
Yeah, that sounds a little too PG friendly for me.
Oh
There
my
was
god.
another- There was
I
another
actually-
article on violence links to video games. We should probably.
But yeah, this is my favorite thing. Like, you know that dumb like woman screaming at the cat meme? Like
Oh,
one of
yeah,
them
yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
my favorite one so far is just the lady going like, video games cause violence, and then it's just the cat saying, me and Animal Crossing watering my flower. Catching bugs, going fishing, you know. Oh my god, I got
get
off.
into debt. The
Yeah,
moment
I've heard
you
that, and I was
move
like,
down.
why would I want to?
Yes, you
Why
do.
would I want
Why would I want to
that?
live American
raccoons.
Simulator?
And
Yeah,
his
it's
little
called- it's
raccoon,
called college.
But it's
nephew.
Tom Nook, and it's adorable. So
I
you
didn't even
don't
know
have
who
to worry
Tom
about it.
Nook was, and then like Ari changed her handle to Tom Nook's girlfriend, and I was like, who the fuck is Tom Nook?
That's
And
Tom
then
Nook right there.
That's Tom
Amiibo.
Nook.
Look at the amiibo.
Him. That one right there. That
Yeah,
is
and then
him.
I was like, it's
Is that a
it's an
ra- is
Animal
that a
Crossing
raccoon?
thing.
That's
He's a raccoon. Yeah.
I was so
and he
fucking
has-
confused.
He also has his little raccoon nephews, Timmy and Tommy.
Timmy and Tommy and what? No, what is the other one?
There's Tom
Tom-
Nook, and
Tom
then there's
Nook?
his raccoon nephews, Timmy and Tom.
Timmy and Tommy.
And you can grow trees, and they can have like
Listen, I
cherries
feel
on
like-
them. You can grow like cherry trees.
I feel like this
And
is a
in the
game
new one,
for
you
like
can round
furries,
corners on
and
paths
I'm
you
not, I'm
make.
not about that life.
You can also have pears in your town and then restart your system so you don't have pears in your town. So there's that too. I got really off topic. Like Ash had to come in here talking about Animal Crossing. She knew that I was gonna start going on a rant.
Yeah, can you romance anyone in Animal Crossing?
No, but you can make friends with the animal and like actually like be like best friends with them. One of the cute but sad little things
I want to
is that
declare war. I don't want to make friends.
so apparently from what
I
I've
want to play
heard,
Civilization, Trev. Civilization.
I guess from what I've heard, I guess like maybe in the new one, I can't remember if this was a rumor or not, but I guess if you are like really mean to some of your villagers and your villager, one of your villagers moves to like say like I'm really mean to one of my villagers, which would never happen. And they move to like Melly's. Megan!
Hey, Megan, how are you?
And say like they move to like Melly's town. Like I guess like there's a
Did they
there's a
put a
rumor going
bounty
around
on
that
you because you were mean?
no, apparently like they'll remember. So if I try to like go to Melly's like island in this one and try to talk to them, they'll basically be like, "Oh, hey, how are you?"
Wait, so they're Pepperidge Farm? Because Pepperidge Farm always remembers.
Yeah.
I am not European overtime, no. The
He's not American.
He's
so, yeah.
in the Europe of America, which is Canada.
I'm in the Europe of America. So
I think that was the
Megan,
first time I've heard
today,
someone describe it like that.
I
That's
went to the
great.
grocery store today and bought a bunch of things, right? Some of which I bought some healthier things than usual. Because I bought a big box of donuts. And oh my god, Ash.
No, it's the what, leg fingers? Is that what we're calling
No,
it?
leg hand.
Oh
If-
no!
Leg hands.
If it was literally anyone else but Ash, I would have cleaned that comment. But it's Ash.
You can
and
still do
you know
it?
what? That's not even. That's
I
not
wouldn't
even.
dare.
I've
Stop
timed
it.
out Ash for fun.
I'm not giving anything away here, but Ash has said some really messed up stuff to me too. So Megan,
Kiss your girlfriends. Okay, clean or not clean? Worry, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Do it.
Rory!
He's deciding. He's like, you know how like in games they come up with like a menu. It's like, what do you do in this situation? He's like sitting there like,
You gotta make your decision. The time's running out.
I mean, I could do it and just be like, oh no, Rory, why'd you do it?
I'm waiting for Ash to cease fire. Okay, we're gonna see how this goes.
Parlay.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I do it to you too, Rory.
I would do it just because.
Ash is all sassy
well,
tonight.
you know what? We're good. We're good. Ash is. By the way, the next time I like have lunch with Ash, she's definitely bringing this conversation up, just to see my face. I know it.
Talk about it over tacos.
I feel like that's not something you want to talk about when you're eating food. But I mean,
But Ash would though. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I've eaten with Ash a couple of times. And
Are we getting tacos next week? By the way,
yeah,
or
we
2
are.
weeks from now. Is that,
Yeah, we are.
Is that happening? Okay,
we're gonna do tacos.
Yes,
Okay.
we are. Yeah. The secretly I secretly me and Morgan have been like secretly like planning out the days, so we like know what day we're gonna suggest, but I haven't suggested it yet because it's too early to reasonably suggest a date and time. So I'm just gonna wait until it's reasonable to suggest a time, and then suggest the time.
It's like 10 days. What do you mean it's not?
What is going on in the chat right now? Stop.
I don't know. This is Wynn's worst nightmare.
Yeah, literally,
right now going on.
Oh my god.
The Eric, we're going to get tacos. You're coming.
And apparently,
That was the
like,
question.
Canadian tacos.
No, we're not.
would that just be poutine tacos?
Yeah, poutine. Poutine
Oh,
in a taco.
speaking,
Maple syrup in a taco.
Can I endorse America for a moment?
Sure.
For
Why-
We're not gonna be against it, but yeah, all right,
So-
continue.
the last time I was with Morgan, we were out with some friends having dinner, and one of those friends ordered poutine, like American poutine.
Oh,
We're
okay,
in
all right.
America.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, interesting. Like, and I'd heard the poutine was good. He's like, do you want to try some? I was like, yeah, definitely. And you know what? It was good. Okay, so it was a good restaurant, so I wasn't super surprised. But like, shout out America, like, good work, boys.
No, are you a regular eater of poutine when you're in Canada, or
Not especially,
okay.
but like,
so you're not like a
I like to think the
poutine
standard's
connoisseur
still
or
high,
something?
because I don't have fish and chips all the time either. But my
Oh,
standard
yeah,
for fish and
okay.
chips is fucking like through the roof. But to be fair, most places in Canada, only coastal regions can really do that.
You're white now.
No, but because we were talking about tacos.
Yeah, that was the place, Ash. That was the place that I think we're talking about the same place. Like, I'm not gonna say where it is, but like, I think we're talking about the same place.
Don't dox yourself.
When we were since we were talking about tacos, Melissa retweeted or quoted a tweet that Ramez put out, who's a great Monster Hunter player. He's way better than I would have been. And at this rate, I'm still not gonna be better. He was doing like Taco Tuesday with Monster Hunter, and Melanie was like, "Why don't we do this?" I was like, "Well, because we don't play on Tuesday."
Well, like, so it was basically like he's gonna eat 2 tacos every time he carts in Monster
Yes.
Hunter World. I'm like, that is a genius idea.
But if
That
you guys
means
never
so
cart-
many tacos.
But if you guys never cart, then it won't matter.
I think if you don't cart, then you take satisfaction in being really good at the game, and if you do cart, then you can console yourself by eating delicious tacos.
But then I feel like it's just gonna be people throwing the games because you're just gonna start
Just-
carting just to eat. Like I could see Ash sitting there just going, "I'm hungry," and then just like standing there and then like getting destroyed by the monster, and like, all right, now I can eat tacos.
You don't.
Sounds good, actually, Megan. Melly and Ash and I had some pretty good nachos one time. Like, I loved those nachos. Those were good.
That's like the first thing we ate together was nachos.
I like this
they were
quote. He
so
doesn't care
good.
about doxing
Aw,
himself.
that's-
Just doesn't want us all blowing up his spot. Yeah, my poutine spot in America. Can't have you all visiting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you got hit with an ad?
Oh,
Ad would be
Oh,
1D,
dang.
not 2.
An ADD.
oh my gosh, Trev.
Playing any random or obscure games late. I play. Oh, I do not know.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Borrow trauma.
Borrow trauma?
I assume, yeah. I assume it's Barrow Trauma. Yeah. It's not only an injury, but it's also a game on Steam. You can buy it for 30 maple bucks. No, 30 freedom bucks.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
an injury
40 maple
too.
bucks.
Well, I assume because it says trauma in it. So
Well, it has a very positive reviews, and I'm assuming that's I like.
Huh, it looks interesting.
yeah, but so does those games on the RPG tag of page 26.
Oh, don't you dare!
Trev.
Why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta bring that up? I'm gonna buy you a Switch just to spite you now.
And
gonna
I'm just,
do it.
it's just
Watch
gonna
me.
sit
Bo
there. And I'm
says
gonna
the
be like,
maths. I want coffee. I feel like a lot of my life can be represented by maths and coffee. So
you can't even see my. I mean, if she's gonna say
Take off
something to
your
me,
glasses.
it's better than the toe thing. So
Here, we're gonna bring back the toes now.
no.
Trev has eyes. What the heck?
So I believe we were talking about Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Somehow.
Before. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Wait, dude.
just to
When was that? Was
reiterate.
that yesterday?
Just to reiterate, I always tag this stream as educational, AMA, and then like some other shit, and then like it doesn't matter because we're never
Pop culture.
qualified. Yeah, pop culture.
That like covers over so much. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. So Ash just played it. I loved it. I can at least say that. So I really loved it. Everybody else should try it. It's free on PlayStation right now. So it's short though. I'll be honest. I probably beat it in like maybe a half hour. I'm not really sure because like what I tend to do in games is, you guys know, I run around and I try to find everything. Like I smash all the crates and I try to find loot. That's what I do.
We saw Ash struggle for about half an hour.
Took me like 45.
It might have been 45. I think it might have been around that, but
But it was less
I-
than an hour, essentially.
Yeah. And I was taking screenshots and stuff too. I'll probably play it again to get some more good screenshots. Just because that's how I am when I play games. But I also just wanted to. I just kind of want to appreciate it, I guess, because the graphics are
Yeah, they did look
absolutely
really good.
insane. Oh my god, the very
Yeah,
beginning of it, honestly.
It looked beautiful.
And in game too. Like in game, it's insane. I did die once. I had issues switching between the two characters. I kind of understand that. Free flow combat gave me some issues. So at first, it kind of did for me too, but I got really used to it. But I actually like the way that they do. So for this one, they actually have the heading to the gym. I'll pop in if my phone doesn't. Okay,
That's
Ash.
Final Fantasy
Come on.
VII Remake Eternal. That's
Yes.
no the demo. Morgan
Yes, the
played
demo, not the
Yes.
actual game.
I really enjoyed it. For me, I actually really liked the way that they did the drop-down menu for magic and abilities and items. So what they did was they slowed down time a bit, so you could go through and pick something. I liked that actually. It was, I don't know, like I thought it was kind of fun to go through it. Now at times I would press the wrong button because I play so many games that sometimes I get the buttons like messed up with what I need to do for certain things. Like I try to block with one button and it is not the right button. But it's pretty easy to get the hang of, like once you actually get through it, because at first it can be a little odd feeling. Which I think is what Ash said. I do agree with that. For me, now I've actually, it's interesting because like I've talked to people about it, like how, like what they felt about some of the gameplay aspects. I actually liked using Barrett, who uses like basically like a turret on his arm, which everybody, if you guys have seen Final Fantasy VII, you would know. But you actually can like move around, you know, like as you shoot the turret. I really liked playing as Barrett. He helped quite a lot during one of the fights, just because each character does have, you know, differences in their abilities and everything. The graphics are absolutely insane. I can't really describe it, to be quite honest. The very beginning, the opening cinematic, it was something else. And now it makes me want to cosplay like 2 or 3 more other characters.
Assuming Aerith.
Already in 45 minutes of playing this demo.
Aerith, that one chick I don't know the name of, and then
Aerith, yes, Aerith.
the ninja chick. I don't actually know her name.
Ninja chick. The ninja chick.
Yuffie?
Okay, you're thinking of Yuffie. She is not in Final Fantasy.
No, she kicked. It was in the cinematic. She kicked the dude in the chest.
I only know these people because of Kingdom Hearts, because I've never.
No, it wasn't Yuffie. You might be thinking of Jessie.
Okay, yeah, Jessie.
You're thinking of Jessie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Yuffie is. Oh, I can't remember which one Yuffie is in. 8.
She's in Kingdom Hearts.
She-
That's the only reason I know it.
That's how I know who Yuffie is. All right.
She's played by Kim Possible. Oh no, wait, I know she is in. Never mind. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different character. I'm thinking. Oh, what's her name? I'm thinking of a different one.
The other one who's in Kingdom Hearts.
The other one. Oh my good lord. But
the ninja bitch.
Oh, what else was there? Well, I guess besides the graphics, like the graphics were crazy. It was. I don't really know how to describe them. They were incredible. I'm happy to see that the game is coming out. I still don't know how I feel about it coming out.
Is a loose term.
That's what I was just about to get into. I'm still not sure if I'm okay with the fact that it's now. I guess some people are saying that it's going to be 2 parts instead of 3. Because I heard rumors that it was supposed to be 3 parts, so it'd be basically like 3 separate releases of like basically having to pay $60 for each part. I guess.
Is that confirmed then that you'd have to pay a full price for each one?
I'm positive they probably will. I don't see why they wouldn't. I'm not crazy about it being episodic. I'm gonna wait until they release all of it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Which is
inevitable, right? They'll release all of it. It'll go on sale, and a lot of people buy it, right? Like.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Just since it is.
I know how Eric feels about it.
Well, Eric saw the original release back in 2016 or whatever, so that's why.
See, and that's the thing that I find very interesting, because I've had some people try to say that, like, well, it's okay because when it originally released, it was on multiple discs. I'm like, it was released on multiple discs together. You had to play on multiple discs.
As a defense. Yeah,
because it was such a large game on the PlayStation 1, they had to do that.
A lot of games did that. Metal Gear Solid 1 did that.
Yeah.
Released on multiple discs.
Final Fantasy 13 released on multiple discs on the Xbox 360. But, like, so even, like, then, but, like, that just happens. I don't agree that they're going to be doing big, huge releases, and I just guarantee that they're probably going to be $60 each. That's just me. But I am super excited for it. I hope that they do different stuff with it, though, because there's going to be a little deluxe edition that comes with a steelbook, an art book, so I think some DLC, one other thing. Oh, a soundtrack, and the game. So I'd like them to maybe do something different if they're going to do like another release for the second half of the game.
I almost got the Cloud edition, the one with the motorcycle one, but it was like $400, and I was like,
I don't even recommend it anyways, because it's actually just a bundle. That's all it is. It is the deluxe edition, which is the stuff that I just said.
Yeah.
It is the deluxe edition plus the Play Arts Kai figure of Cloud on the bike. You can buy the Play Arts Kai of Cloud on the bike separately. So I actually don't.
Is
really
it
recommend
cheaper than if you did it all at once, or?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it is. But yeah, I don't recommend that. So if you ever do want that, you could always get, because it's not like it comes in a big box altogether. When I got I thought it was a collector's edition for Kingdom Hearts 3. It actually wasn't. It was just the deluxe edition plus the Bring Arts figures. And when they came in the shipping box, they were just separated.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't enjoy that because, I mean, you guys can't really see them. I have some of them back here, but I'll have to get some of them out sometime. But like back here, I have some of my collector's edition boxes, and I like those. I love collector's edition boxes.
I like it when it all comes
keeps
in
everything.
One, as opposed
to, keeps everything in there. I like that
because as much shit as I give Sekiro, like Sekiro came in one box. It wasn't like 3 different things, and then Spider-Man came in one box, and
like people kind of talk crap a little bit about like on collector's edition pages when they say like comes with a collector's edition box, like because it comes in a box, but like it has artwork on it and it's nice. Everything fits in it. In terms of certain ones, like the one of my favorite ones actually is the collector's edition for for Persona 5 actually, because it's this little box that it comes in that has like a little magnet on it they can flip up. And then the collector's edition for Tales of Symphonia Chronicles on the PS3 has an outer casing, and then you can pick it up out of it, and then the box actually is split in half, so you can actually like lift one part of it out of it, and then like all of the stuff fits in the bottom half of the box. And I really like that. So yeah, I was disappointed in the Kingdom Hearts one because it just came in a shipping box all, loose. I didn't like it.
It's never good when things come out.
Nah, it wasn't pretty,
I feel like some companies have that reputation for doing shit like that though. Because the only reason that stopped me from not getting the collector's edition from Monster Hunter World is because I guess Capcom's known for having their like figures and like statues for not like really the best standard, so they like deteriorate or break really easy.
I think it kind of depends on certain ones. I like the Tails ones just because most of the time they tend to be good little statues. I think for me, I've only actually ever had I think it's like one collector's edition that I was disappointed in the statue. And that's actually, is Eric going?
Yeah, Eric's taking off to go study. Eric, good luck with this exam, by the way. Kill it, do a great job, and then we'll hang out. It'll be cool.
Then you guys will eat tacos, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You'll forget you were ever writing an exam at all.
But I think the only one that I've ever actually been kind of disappointed in terms of collector's editions, like actual collector's editions, not just the weird one that the Kingdom Hearts one was, but the Rise of the Tomb Raider one, actually. The paint was really weird on the statue.
Rise was the second one?
Second one, yes.
Okay.
I don't know
Second
why.
new one, yeah.
But they had the sculpt of like the face, and then they put the eyes on like second, and they're not hand painted for some of them. They just kind of slapped the paint on there. And so she had like little bumps for where her eyes went. And so her eyes, like the eye color actually is like up like a teeny tiny bit off of the bumps where her eyes actually are supposed to go. So it looks like she's going like this. And she looks real tired, which is probably like in character for her because she's climbing everywhere
rock
and
climbing and like
and
all
running
these
away
stunts.
from bad guys with guns. But that one I was a little bit disappointed in. I'm a big connoisseur of collector's editions, so I tend to analyze them a bit, I guess. But yeah, like in terms of the collector's edition for Final Fantasy VII, I don't really recommend it unless you really want both of them.
Yeah, if you're like a diehard fan, I imagine.
Play Arts Kai though are expensive. I'll say that they're really expensive. I mean, they're nice. They're big figures. I don't have one because they're expensive. But they're, like I've heard they're okay. I've heard their joints are like really clickety, but
well, I imagine
I got really off.
the statues aren't meant for like moving and articulation super like a lot. So like if you're
No, I mean they can articulate, but I think the thing is that they mostly like are supposed to be there for like being in a static position
like a
most
pose.
of the time. Yeah, like you put them in the pose and then you're good. Are we talking more than 500? So
I think it was like 400.
I can look really quick just because I can't remember how much exactly it was.
I know when I saw it, I was like, oof. I was like, I'm not getting this.
I believe with the let's see here.
Yeah, it's like the price of a console. I was like, nah. Like,
so
not for me.
just the Cloud for the Play Arts Kai one is $150 American. Let me see.
$150 for a statue. That's like a whole.
Wow.
That's how much my Sakura one cost, I think.
Okay, so with him on the Fenrir bike is
oh yeah, there's two different versions.
$369.
That's right.
Yeah, $369. So if you're gonna have to obviously pay shipping for it too. With that, it's probably going to be upwards of $400, I would guess. I think somebody was talking about wanting to order it, and they were seeing if they could. When the one that came with the deluxe edition, which is like $80. I think with the shipping, it was over $500. I want to say. Yeah, it's a lot. For a game and a doll, I would look at for like a week. That's kind of bad considering that, like, right up there, like right here, those are all figures. And this one actually right here is from Square Enix. Oops. No, it's okay, I get it. If you guys ever want questions about certain figures, because I get a bunch of different kinds. I have I don't have any Play Arts Kai, but I have Bring Arts, which is from Square Enix. I have Good Smile Company, Nendoroids, and Figmas. And then I have SH Figure Arts, which I think are Bandai Namco. Well, not Bandai Namco, but Bandai.
I don't think I'm...
All of them are different. I'll be honest, the Bring Arts ones I'm not that impressed with. But
that just reminded me, I noticed the other day in Fable Vixen's channel, she has a thing in her channel now where you can redeem channel points to get her to show off a toy, which I thought was really fun.
Okay, I don't want to say I want to steal that, but I'm going to ask Vex about it, because I just have so much stuff, you know?
So I think it's like it's like something like 8,000 channel points, you can redeem it, and then she lets you pick what toy if you want to see something up close. I just thought that was a really cute idea. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't want to steal it from her, so I'm going to ask her about what she thinks about me maybe doing that, because I need to get a new...
Or do like a variation of that.
I need to get another shelf for right here, because I still have stuff to put up, but I got a bunch of stuff. Oh my god, especially with my Animal Crossing, system coming out in a week and a half. I'm going to have to display my box somewhere. Oh, cool. Plus, I'm going to have, like...
Yeah, I want to hear about PAX East.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about PAX. Okay, so I did spend a lot of time at the Nintendo booth, obviously. I did spend a lot of time in line for that. I got some pretty cool stuff. I can actually show you just a second. Now, I really probably should go get the poster that I got, because I actually really recommend the guy who did it. He goes by just one second, actually. I tagged him in...
Over time, you're right. Morgan is going to be playing Animal Crossing essentially nonstop.
For days? It won't be for days. You guys just won't see me ever again. That's going to be about it.
Is this just going to be an Animal Crossing channel now? Is that what it's...
Yeah.
Pretty...
So he goes by the Jed Henry on Instagram, guys. I actually really recommend him. I bought one of his prints. Let me, I'll actually be right back. I'll go get it, because it's just right over in my room next door. It's actually really cool. I'm sorry, I'm bumping into things. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. The that chair Morgan's sitting in is on a carpeted floor, so it's actually really hard to move. So that's why there is like so much struggling to move that around every time she has to like move. You guys were wondering why that looks so difficult. It actually is that difficult. I've been there many times. Okay, yeah, so Morgan's gone to get that, and yeah, so Morgan was just recently at PAX East. She was very excited. We're going next year. We're going to go. She only got to go for one day, but next year we're going to go for a bunch more days. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never actually been to a convention. Melly, have you been to any conventions?
I have, but I've just been to like smaller ones. There's one here locally in Orlando called MegaCon, and I've gone a couple times to that. And I think that might be the only one I've ever been to. But like on my bucket list for sure is like one day I want to go to the one in San Diego.
Like Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go to that one.
I know it's difficult to get tickets for that one. They sell out really quickly.
It can be. I've had a bunch of friends who've gone to San Diego Comic-Con actually, and they really. I mean, obviously they swear by it because it's there's just so much there.
You know what? I was actually in New York. I think I was in New York City last time.
I would love to go to QuakeCon over time.
Yeah.
So Morgan
I've actually Yeah, I know.
Business card? You had a streamer give you a business card?
So
I've never seen that.
Actually,
neither.
that's how I met Pearl. She gave me her business card.
I don't even have a business card. Am I fucking up? Should I have a business
Maybe
card?
I feel like I should get one now.
Yeah,
Honestly,
damn.
like when I went to PAX, I was like, I probably should have done this, but I wasn't in my cosplay either. But next year, I intend on doing my cosplay. So this was the print I got. It's called ukiyoeheroes.com, and it's Jed Henry. So you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if people have seen this picture around. Hopefully it'll kind of, there it goes.
Oh, cool.
So it's supposed to be Mario Kart, but like
oh, that's
old style.
so cool.
Yes, it's like
I
old
love
style.
that.
Yeah, old
Looks
style,
like a
like
computer.
Japanese looking. So the one that I bought was this. And it's just kitties in kimonos
Oh,
eating
that's
sushi.
so cool.
Yeah, that's super cute. I love that.
Yeah, and I was super excited about it. I'm going to be getting a for it just because it's a really nice print. It's like, it's hand painted and, whoa, don't bend. I definitely recommend him, guys. I like put him on my Instagram if you guys want to check him out, because he was a really nice guy too. But I loved it. It was so fun.
Wait, back that up a second. You said that's how you met Puka?
Yes.
Did you know her
Yeah.
first from like meeting her, and then you checked out her channel?
Mm-hmm. So I went.
Okay.
So I was cosplaying as Kairi. She freaked out. She was cosplaying as on Takamaki from Persona 5, and I freaked out. So we got to talking with each other, and I said something about Twitch, and she was like, "Oh, I'm a streamer," and she handed me her card, and I was like, "Cool!" And so I followed her right there, and I stopped into her stream, and now I've known her for
Let me
almost a
Yeah.
do
year.
a quick
so.
caster for our friend Pearl. It was a
Yeah,
really
she's great.
nice streamer. Oh wait, what? She was
playing Okami. Oh man.
Oh, that's so cool! I just got Okami. I'm so excited to play it. Like
But-
I got
and
it
she's
in a humble bundle.
and she's super nice. But I actually got to see her this year again, so I was really happy about being able to sit and talk with her.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
I've-
really nice.
Also, never cosplayed Megan, but when me and Morgan, the next time me and Morgan go to a convention, that is when I'm going to do my cosplay. I'm actually very excited.
So it's actually interesting when you say Vove, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to like force cosplaying or anything, but when you say I could never cosplay, not confident enough, so I kind of felt like that too. I was really scared about doing cosplays, and since I started doing them, so like I started out with Rukia from Bleach, and that one's a pretty standard one. I did Mikasa from Attack on Titan. And I kind of started going from there. And eventually, like, I got so confident with it that I actually did Tifa Lockhart. And every time I'm in that cosplay or in my Shantae, which is, I don't really know how to explain Shantae. She's a genie character. But, like, ever since I started doing those, like, I got more confident the more I actually started doing it. So if you ever want to try it, try out something that you feel the most comfortable with, like a character that you really vibe with, or even if it's like a costume that doesn't take too much effort to it, like a Pokemon trainer or something like that. That's what I would suggest. But it definitely kind of it honestly does help you kind of like burst out of your shell a little bit. That's what it did for me. So, I mean, if you ever want to try, I'm not saying that you should, like do whatever you want.
I
But
feel like going to a
that's
con
how it
in
got for me.
cosplay it would be like such a completely unique experience. And I've always
It
wanted
is.
to do because I've gone to a couple cons before, but I've only just gone, like in a
Mhm.
geek T-shirt and like just regular
I-
street clothes, or whatever.
It is like my dream to go to a con with all these people here. Like
Mhm.
it is
we
my
should
dream.
make that happen. If I go to con with you, I will cosplay. I don't know what.
I wouldn't
Like,
recommend cosplaying if you go to Teleracon, by the way, because you'll be sort of like you'll definitely stand out in cosplay there. But
I will do what I want.
I was
Yeah.
saying earlier, like I wanted to do like a sub goal, like subathon type thing to celebrate the 1 year affiliate, or whatever. And I wanted one of my cosplay goals to be like, okay, if I get to a certain goal, I will cosplay as Ada Wong and play Resident Evil.
Oh, that would be.
oh, that'd be so
awesome.
cool. That would be so
Yeah.
cool.
See, and honestly, that's actually a really good like a good place to start too, because like there are some people that feel like maybe they don't want to go.
Hey, Ryan, how are you? It's good
Rykor,
to see
hi,
you.
or Rykor. Why did I say Rykor? His name's Ray. I feel weird saying Rykor.
Why did I say Rykor? It's like people don't know Ray is just like so ubiquitously known as Ray.
That would be like me calling Rory Toctopus. Like,
Well, I mean, I think it would be a little stranger if you called me Toctopus. But
Girl,
but
I've never
yeah,
played a
like,
single Final Fantasy game, so you ain't alone. Don't you worry.
but yeah, like honestly, I feel like that would be even better, like to do like if you wanted to do a first cosplay like on stream, because you're at least in the comfort of your home, you know,
Right.
like you're
And
still
then,
in front
and
of
then
a
if
lot
I
of
have
people.
fun with it, then I can save the Ada Wong cosplay for like an actual con.
I knew
His
Megan
name
was
is
gonna say something like that.
But
But yeah, like honestly, like
Unbelievable.
that's actually a really good place to start too, because if you're starting to feel uncomfortable, you could just be like, listen, chat, I'm not feeling this, I'm gonna go change real quick, versus like when you're at a con like away from your hotel, you're like, oh my god, I'm here and I don't know if I feel okay with this.
and I would do the RE2 remake one. So she's got the trench coat and the sunglasses, then she's got
I
that
love
sexy
that.
red dress with like the holster. Yeah. You like my green screen? Thanks. I like my green screen too.
I love that. But okay, yeah, so PAX. I did spend a lot of time at the Nintendo booth. For me, it wasn't a lot of wasted time. For a little while, I felt like I wasted some of my time just because I only went to PAX for a day. It's a bit expensive to go.
How much is it like per day?
So I think each ticket is $65 per day, but I want to say if you do want to go for all 4 days, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think you actually can get a 4-day pass that might be a little bit less if you actually do get the 4-day pass. I don't know if I want to do the 4-day pass yet, just because I know that one is also expensive, but I like video games enough, and obviously like
Yeah.
you know, we're all streamers and stuff. Like, I feel like it's a part of me so much so that I would be okay with spending a little bit more money to be able to go to a con like this, because it's not just it's not just like a con where you go to a panel and they talk about like it's like a fan talking about something. You're going to like in the expo hall, like when you're walking around and you see somebody like with a TV next to them, like with like artwork of a game behind them, that's probably the developer right there. Like that's the person making that game. Like it's
That's
so
cool.
incredible. Like I loved like, you know, hanging out at the Nintendo booth and everything. Like I got to play the demo. Spoiler alert. It was super cool, and I got this thing for playing. It's a bag. I was super excited about it. But it was really neat being there, like talking to the representatives from Nintendo, I guess. And you know, being able to take pictures and stuff, and getting like little like loot and stuff, like because you know I also got like the little pin and everything for checking in. But no, even though I loved that, there's something really amazing about going to Spyro, yeah. About going to like for PAX, like going to PAX and then playing a game and then talking to the person that is actively developing that game. And because it's actually a lot of fun to do that with a lot of because they have like a whole indie showcase area where it's all games that are developed by like a very extremely small team. Versus, you know, like, well, Sony wasn't there this year. But like, I don't know if there was a Dead by Daylight one this year, but like last year, for example, there's a big Dead by Daylight booth. There was a huge booth for Square Enix for Final Fantasy VII. What was really cool is that eventually some of the voice actors did come by.
That's super cool.
I don't think it was when I was there, because it depends on the day, because it's a 4-day convention and it's huge. Because we only spent time in the expo hall. There's panels to go to as well. There's a whole bunch of other places to like the entire convention, which is why I want to go for more than even 2 days. I'd like to. It's really difficult to do everything in one day, because you're not really looking at stuff very well, if I can be quite honest. But yeah, like the voice actors came by and that was really neat, but you don't actually get to talk with like the person that made Final Fantasy VII, you know? Which, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, you know? But there's just something really, really interesting, like talking to the person who is making this game that you just played, and looking at their face and like listening to them talk about like the passion that went into making this game. It's really cool. I definitely recommend PAX. I like anime. I love going to like the anime conventions that I go to that also have, video game stuff that go along with it. PAX is probably my favorite kind of convention just because it's all video game. Like there's so many demos to play and there's so much merchandise that you can buy. Like I got Animal Crossing stuff. I got something from the Forgotten Anne series. I got an Untitled Goose Game microfiber cloth. Like, it's really cool stuff like that. Like, there's all sorts of stuff you can buy.
Bye, Turtle.
Oh, is it Turtle?
Oh yeah, body paint is actually a big thing on Twitch.
It is, yeah, actually.
Tater, can you send me that video?
Yeah, Eternal, it was good to good to have you here
can
again.
You DM me that video,
have a
Tater.
Great night and a great rest of your week.
Good night, Eternal.
But yeah, like there's just something really, really neat about going because like all the stuff like mostly has to do with, obviously with games. Some of the smaller the smaller developers, but they're bigger in terms of like they're not just indie. Like the Behemoth booth was there, Devolver Digital was there.
I love them.
Actually.
Devolver is super cool.
Every year that I've gone so far, they've had some kind of hilarious booth. I'm gonna be honest. They have
a lot of DRM free games on GOG, by the way. Guys.
Oh, and they're something else. Whoa, I'm sorry, I keep bumping my mic.
No worries.
But like Devolver Digital always have they always have some kind of fun game to try.
Okay. Overtime, you have a great night too, and a great rest of your week, and
yes.
And hopefully we'll get to see you around next time or sometime soon in the future. Take it easy.
Thanks for hanging out.
But yeah, like I super recommend it. There's just something really amazing about going, to be quite honest. I want to be able to go for days though, because the thing is that like for Animal Crossing, it took me a long time to be able to get to the demo. Now, I'm not saying I spent all day there. I did technically spend, I think we got there like 10:30, which was late for us. The traffic was really bad that day. But I think we got there at about 10:30. I was probably there at the Nintendo booth until about 1:30, mostly because I got in line to get this, and then I had to get back out of line and wait until I could get in line for the merchandise. There was a huge kind of bad thing that happened, I guess, with the merchandise stuff, that they let people buy things in bulk. So there were a lot of PAX exclusive things for that day that were already sold out, which is another reason why I believe if anybody wants to go, try to go for at least 2 days. Yeah. Because of that, I wasn't able to get any of the PAX exclusive Animal Crossing stuff, which was a bit disappointing. But I had to get in line for that. I had to wait for that. And then I tried to get in line for the demo. Took a long time. They had this thing called a warp pass, which we didn't know about. And they're like, hey, come back at 5. You might be able to get in. And I was like, okay. So I left and I did other things. But I think I'm going to start planning for next year. So the one that I went to, Vove, was PAX East in Boston. There is PAX, there's actually a lot of them. There's Developers PAX, there's PAX Australia, PAX South, PAX West. So depending on like where you are region wise, like say if you're closer to like Seattle, like on the West Coast. Oh, Boston is next door. Go.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, go to PAX East.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, PAX East. They also say is one of the better ones too.
Now, are they always in the same city, or does it rotate, or how does that work?
So PAX East is always in Boston. PAX West is always in Seattle, and I can't remember where it is in. I think PAX South might be in Houston.
It's one of the cities in Texas. Yeah,
it's definitely in Texas. Yeah.
When Morgan was at PAX East, because she said she was there for one day, and Morgan's really good about like sending me pictures of like where she is when she's traveling and stuff like that. Like if she's like at a con or something, she always send me pictures and like cool cosplays that she thinks I'll like. She'll like try to get a picture of the person for me, and like it got me so pumped to go next year. Like I literally can't wait. It seems like it's a convention that I'll really be able to get a lot of, especially because we're planning on going for a few days.
And you said that's when you're gonna do your first cosplay, right?
Rancor.
What?
Possibly your
Oh.
first cosplay.
My first cosplay will probably be before then. But
Would y'all ever do a couples cosplay?
yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one you guys had planned?
We've literally already discussed
Was it
this
the,
one.
was it
Oh,
Green
it's
Arrow
gonna
and
be a-
Black Canary?
But it's gonna be a surprise, though, right?
Well, it'll be a surprise to us because we haven't figured it out yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
okay.
Alright.
But yeah. I mean, it would
Look
be.
at this stuff.
Yeah, I'll be going to East. Yeah. Well, me and Morgan, we see each other, as often as we can. So, it's nice to plan. It will be convenient to plan a trip around like an event like that. Take it easy, Tater. I hope you have a.
Good night, Tater.
Night, Tater. See ya.
I like Ray's
Thanks.
comment there.
And thank you for sending me a video.
Basically, like that kind of was me. Like as soon as I got a picture with this guy cosplaying as the gardener from Untitled Goose Game, I was like, Rory, look.
Mm,
Oh yeah, I saw
Uh,
that. I think you posted that in our group, or it was in one of the channels.
It was
was
definitely
in-
somewhere. I was freaking out. Honk!
yeah, literally.
But yeah, like honestly, like there's just so many great things. Like really good booths. I recommend Fangamer. Fangamer is actually one of my like more favorite don't worry about it. One of my favorite booths. I actually have gotten like I think this year was the first one that I didn't buy something from. I think it's because I bought a few other shirts from somewhere else. One of which was just a sweater, or it was like a sweatshirt that said video games on it, and that was it. That's all it said was video games.
And you met Puka, right?
Yeah, I did get to meet up with her again. I was super excited about
Oh,
it.
so you've met her before?
The
Yeah, I
last
met her at
pack.
last year's
Oh,
PAX.
okay. Alright.
Mhm. Yeah, that's actually
Trev
how
was
I met
getting
her.
food during that bit.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I saw that we
Um,
shouted her out, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I met her. She was super nice, and I got to see her again this year. Nice as always. I definitely recommend her channel also, guys. She's really great. She really actually likes to do cosplay also, and she tends to do like a wig wheel is what she calls it. If she meets her daily follow or sub goal, I believe, she wears a different wig for the next stream. And she spins a wheel for like whatever one she has.
How
so
many
it's a fun
wigs
place.
does this entail?
Oh, she has a few. I think she has like 6 maybe at
Ah.
least. At least for the ones that she does on the wheel. I'm not sure how many, because I know she has a Breath of the Wild Zelda one, and an Antakamaki one. So
Because
Yeah.
the other Ash that I know, she also I don't know if she has like a obsession or she has like an addiction. I don't know, but like she loves buying wigs, so I don't know if that was just like a thing.
I think she just does like wigs also, but she does do a lot of cosplays. But yeah, like honestly, like I was really disappointed that I didn't do my cosplay this year because we actually ended up getting there late. I was expecting, because last year at last year's PAX, we stood outside for about an hour, and that was in April, so it's still sort of cold. It wasn't terrible though. Like I could stand outside in my like I brought a sweater with me that I just stuffed into my backpack, but I was wearing my Kyrie cosplay, which is, a short dress that is cut off at the sleeves. So I was cold. But I stuck through it. And now this
That's
year,
commitment. That is-
I've
Keyblade
done it.
wielders don't get cold, right?
now this year, even though I was going to do my Sonya cosplay from Pokemon, and I was going to be wearing a coat, a sweater, and let me think, boots and leggings, I was a little bit leery because the wind the night before was so incredibly terrible that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But I did get kind of sad because we ended up getting there late, so we actually stood outside for 15 minutes, so I should have done my cosplay. Like, next time, I'm just not going to care. I'm just going to do it. But I'm hoping next year won't be in February.
Yeah, it's
That-
not
I was-
usually, so.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that one. I think it definitely is better suited for...
I thought they were always
April.
around like the same time.
They usually are. It's usually April.
but this one was like abnormally early for some.
It was,
they-
yeah. End of February is what it was this time. Usually it's beginning of April.
'Cause I know
Um,
with Comic Con, it's always the same like week.
Yeah, usually. It's really interesting though. Not a lot of people cosplay, but you can tell the people who usually do cosplay put a lot of effort into their cosplays. I saw some pretty good ones this year. But it's a lot of fun. Like, you get to know more people just by, because I mean that's how I got to know Pearl, because I went up and I talked to her because I was like, oh my god, your cosplaying is on to Comic-Con. That's so cool. And you know, people asked about the Keyblade that I made, so you get to talking to people.
Is she still doing the Kingdom Hearts run through? Because I think that was the last
I think
time
she's finally done with
I think
those.
she's done. Yeah.
She's been playing Witcher more often, from what I've seen.
Trev.
Melly.
Trev's favorite game.
I love this. I love this so much because Melly was, and then Trev is just like, ugh.
I love
If
Witcher.
you guys don't know, Trev actually does enjoy The Witcher. It's just there was a string of time like around like late last year.
It was when
early
the
this
TV
year,
show came out.
when like everyone was streaming The Witcher, and Trev was like, "Fuck, I gotta get away from this." Like
every
and-
channel you mod for was playing The Witcher.
Yeah, so I had like
Literally,
4 or 5 different tabs open, and I was just Witcher. And I was like,
yeah.
Trev was like, "Kill me now."
Trev just hid in Wynn's channel, I think.
Yeah,
just like
'cause I
Trev's
knew-
like this
'cause-
is a safe place.
they actually Kaiser made
Printer's
the
running out
word
of
The
ink?
Witcher
That sucks.
banned.
I have to
in,
print something
what's it called?
tomorrow, and I hate printing because printing technology is dog shit and has no excuse to be this many years into having it.
This is 2020.
Yeah, literally. Why are printers still so hard to work? Like,
We should probably still have like the 3D printing equivalent of printing. You know what I mean?
They have 3D printers, but like apparently like they're really like to print what's the 3D printer? It's like really in depth because you have to use like I think it
Oh,
was
is it?
Illustrator or something. It's like a 3D model. Yeah. It's going to be
But
saying
yeah,
the wrong name in people's cosplay. That's such a troll thing. It's like walking up. Oh.
But yeah, for PAX though, like I probably recommend it for anybody that's just really into video games. I've heard New York Comic Con is fine, but it is definitely more comic book stuff and TV shows. I've heard San Diego Comic Con is a lot better though. It's like,
As of late,
anything.
they've been doing a lot more like TV stuff as opposed to like comics and stuff.
yeah. But if in terms of video game stuff, PAX it's my favorite one now. Like every year, I look forward to going. I would
I've
love to
heard
be
that
able to go with
as far
everybody.
as just if you're strictly into gaming, that the PAX one's
Yeah,
really
PAX
That's
is
also
the
what
best
I
one.
Well,
heard.
it's
Actually, yeah.
incredible just because you can play so many demos. Like there's just so many demos everywhere. Like for small games and for big games. I guess a lot of people were disappointed because I don't know if they were, but I had actually heard that if Sony was going to be there might have been a demo for The Last of Us Part 2. Which is sad.
Well, we know they skipped
I
out
like
everything.
The Last of Us. By the way, Morgan, Vove here is a fan of Wind Waker.
Ooh.
Because I'm guessing because he noticed the thing on your chair there.
Okay, so
Um,
I just have the chat open.
I think
and
that's a
I forgot to
blank.
bring it back up.
Blanket. I
This
don't think
is-
it's a seat cover.
Yeah,
it's
just
a-
yeah, it's a
blanket,
blanket.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is it's called a tie blanket. Let me see.
Morgan makes them. They're super cute.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan,
there's another one right
Morgan,
here.
your blanket that you made for me is now my favorite blanket of all time. I just want to say, like, it's the coziest.
It's really warm.
It's
Yeah, they're
it's so
nice.
warm. Actually, I got mad because John stole it from me the other night. He was like using it as a pillow, and I was like, "Excuse me."
Like you don't know this person.
That's
Like
hilarious. And I'm reliably informed that Muffin really liked her
Yes.
blanket.
Oh,
as
no
well.
doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that Tiff says that it's Muffin's blanket.
Aw.
Muffin literally like I've met Muffin, and like when you meet Muffin and you see those eyes, you're like, anything I own is yours now. Like here you go. Here's
Okay.
all my
I'd be like, get away
When-
from me because I'm
When
allergic.
when Tiff posted that video of her and Muffin like with the stream gift or whatever, I like melted. It was so cute.
Oh, she's such a cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Muffin's
can't.
adorable.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Muffin is our friend Tiff's cat, by the way. Shout out
Yes.
here, caster command for our friend Tiff, known around here as Talera.
She won't be on for this week though because it's
we
reading
won't be
week.
on for this week because
She's
it's
on
reading
break.
week
Yes.
for her thing. It was
Also-
reading
Her
week for me
school,
last
yeah.
week.
Also, if you guys want to follow Muffin on Instagram, she has an Instagram.
It's
also.
at links_muffin on
Mhm.
Instagram.
Do I have?
You can also follow Morgan's cat Lillian on Instagram at Lillian Lucky Cat. Highly recommend both of those.
I like how you've
Read it
committed
right
these
away.
to
No, just
committed
reading
these
it.
to
If only-
memory.
Take a look.
I wish it were.
You
reading
know,
it, but
book.
I like how no matter what, like everyone knows what that is. That's like a huge thing.
yeah, no, that is wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I wanted to dive into a couple of the news stories we have this week.
Oh yes, the reminder.
Right. I would say probably. Would you guys want to start with the Xbox one? Because I found that
Yes.
kind of interesting.
So
Post it
I
in
guess
the chat.
Game
Do you
Pass
have the link for that
lost
one?
a fuck ton of games.
Rory, do you have it already, or I can grab it?
Oh, I do not have it.
I think.
Don't worry, guys. It's professional.
Let's post it for the people. Post it for the people. It's buried.
I don't think there is
Oh,
a link. I think it's just
No, I never posted a link. I just told you about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
there's a
Like, I
link
don't think it's
somewhere.
a link. I think.
Well,
it's
how
just,
about then instead, really quick, let's start with this one then. You guys can read along with it here. So, recently found out that Dead or Alive 6 added this great new thing in. If you want to customize your character a certain way, if you want to change the hair color of your character, you have to buy a ticket, which comes in twos, and they cost $1.99 American. So in US dollars, they cost $2 for 2 tickets. You can only buy them in twos.
It's a big yikes.
If you want to change the hair color of your character, you have to use one of those tickets. If you want to revert it back to its default, you have to use another one of those tickets.
Yeah, you never own any hair colors. Like, you never permanently own a hair color. Like, if you switch to one, that's yours now. And if you want to switch back, you got to get the old one again, which is bullshit, obviously.
So, say for example, if
That's
you
insane.
it's
You're paying for.
Is Dead or Alive a
you're
Yang
paying
game?
for a. You're paying for a highlight.
Koei Tecmo, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Koei Tecmo
Gosh.
fighting game. Don't worry, I'll talk more about the game itself.
Then bald it is to save money. So if you put this in perspective here, so say you really like to customize your characters in a certain way, and you customize all of the characters that you play. I don't know how many characters there are to play in Dead or Alive 6. Let's say just 10.
This is a good feel.
Let's say you do 10, okay? And you maybe there's been a few, like maybe 3 or 4 of them that you didn't like the hair color on them at first, so you changed it one more time. Now say you loot, like you're I'm gonna say it's on PlayStation, for example. Let's go with PlayStation. Say your PlayStation gets busted. You cannot get your save files off of it because it fell from a balcony and then it got run over by a semi truck.
And there was a thunderstorm at the cabin.
Yeah.
And it fell down the
and
stairs.
died.
I feel like
So, yeah.
a huge magnet and corrupting the data would have been easier, but I like this
And
one
then-
too.
And then just a hawk came out and grabbed it out of the sky. Let's go with that.
Icarus came out and grabbed it.
And then Ninja came out and just took all your stuff. So let's say like it's okay. I'm sorry for that, but like so you don't have any of your save files back, and you spent a bunch of money to the cloud is broke too. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It's a sunny
somehow-
day. There's no cloud.
So I don't know actually, to be quite honest, if these are even if they are supported by the cloud in the first place anyways, for these things in particular. I actually don't know, so I'd have to look into that one. But say if you had these 10 characters that you changed their hairstyle a few times to get them just right, and then you lost all of your save files, and you re-downloaded the game to play it again, you still have to re-buy all of those hair colors.
That's just a
Oof,
cash
that's-
grab. That's a cash
exactly-
So
grab.
much
Yeah, I
worse
agree.
than I thought it was gonna be.
But
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even, and that's like the latest. I want to emphasize this is the latest thing in a string of like shitty financial things about this game. Like this is like a really obvious one that like was really well picked up, and I'm glad it got reported on. But like, okay, so I want to emphasize something here. Okay, so Tekken 7, another fighting game, another 3D fighting game actually came out in 2017, right? I think Dead or Alive is the 3D. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Tekken 7 came out in 2017. It's been very well supported. They've had 3 seasons, right? So you can buy Tekken right now. You go out and buy Tekken, and you can buy the newest Season Pass 3, for 27 Canadian dollars here, okay? So let's say you wanted to buy Dead or Alive. So you buy Dead or Alive. You can buy the newest season pass. Season 4, by the way, and this game came out last year. They're already on season 4, and the season pass is 100 Canadian dollars for the 4th season. The season pass for the first season is also 100 Canadian dollars, and seasons 2 and 3 are 90 Canadian dollars.
I just
What
think
in
they
the
don't think
world?
their products ever
That's-
go down in
It's
age.
actually insane. If you wanted to buy Dead or Alive and all of the
20
available
server.
DLC, it is 2,200 Canadian dollars. Like,
Yeah, one day Rory and I were going through it. I don't know what got us on the topic of Dead or Alive at the time. But I was like, I think at that time, it was a while ago now, but it was something like, if you wanted to get the game with all the DLC, it was upwards of 1,000 at the time.
I love Sai's comment, by the way.
What is
so
what is Dead or Alive? Is a zombie game or is it a?
No,
No,
it's a fighting game. You're thinking
And
Dead
at
Rising.
times-
Dead
Oh.
Rising.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what I'm thinking
Rising.
of. That-
And
that's
at
the-
times, it is a beach volleyball game.
And it also has a creepy ass beach volleyball spin-off where you and your waifu or whatever can like play volleyball and you can be weird.
This sounds
and,
like game meme trap lord and gifted to Ash. Something Sniper Elite, Super Hentai Sniper Elite or something.
Yeah, super hentai sniper elite. Yeah.
Oh, disgusting. Like this game. Now, I want to emphasize something. That one thing is, I read out that number and it was very scary. But one of the things about that, if you add it up with a lot of games with microtransactions, if you actually added them up, it would be a shit ton. It's just the way Steam presents their DLC because they're all considered separate pieces of DLC. How many maple leaves and moose horns is that?
Oh my god.
It's like this is ridiculous, right? Like that's way too much. So if you want to buy, let's just pick like a random item from the list here, okay? So you just bought Dead or Alive, all right? And you want to buy let's see, the maid costume set because you're weird. That would run you 22 maple bucks.
Don't you want
Just
the wedding
for
set
that.
instead? Be
Just
weird.
for that. Oh, there's all kinds. There's the Nova sci-fi bodysuit.
You
There's
know
the
how they
Sandy
should do
Cooper
it?
Costume.
The way Soul Calibur does it, where you play the game naturally, you get tokens, and then you can unlock different outfits like within.
Tekken
they don't
7
do
does
that.
the same thing. In Tekken 7, you earn outfits through playing the game. And if once you've played so many matches, you automatically unlock every.
Or
Yeah,
like
you-
Injustice, because Injustice you'll level
Yeah.
up or get in different boxes. You open those, and it's all random. They're
And the
like
DLC
need
is
for-
like new characters and stages, stuff like that, right?
Guys.
Like it's actual DLC. For the
Guess what just finished downloading?
Oh.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Please,
We have to play it like sometime
King
before
is
next week.
king. King is a badass character. Tekken is a great game. So, guys, if you want to buy a great 3D fighting game, I guess the story is buy Soul Calibur 6 or buy Tekken 7 because they're both badass.
Well, if you buy Soul Calibur 6, don't play me because you're gonna get destroyed. I have a highlighted stream of me just destroying Trinsic and Rory for like 3 good hours.
To be fair, you also have a stream where Trinsic beats both of us in a tournament. We had a night-long tournament, and we played Soul Calibur 6. We did, a
But
Soul
that
Calibur
one
6
wasn't
tournament.
highlighted. Okay?
We did an Injustice.
So
We did
only we know about
a
it.
tournament, and we did a Tekken 7 tournament, and each of us won a different game. Trev slaughtered us in Injustice 2. That was
Well, because in
Fucking
perspective,
war crime.
when we played, I was level like 47, and then you guys have been level 1.
yeah. I've been playing for 10 minutes.
Megan, I think that's
If I
money well
didn't
spent.
buy
though. That
donuts
is
in
money
May.
well spent.
I meant to tell Megan earlier I bought a box of donuts at the grocery store, and it reminded me of her.
Was your name on it?
Yeah, did you have
no, I
like
didn't,
custom?
write puss on it or something like this.
You should buy 8 and put like puss and then puss on like a letter for each one.
Oh jeez.
When all content was on the disc, yeah, really though. Yeah, and that's another thing. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago where we mentioned we were like, oh, sometimes like that's one feature of having online now is developers can fix bugs that otherwise they would have fixed before the game got shipped. But in other features, they can sell DLC that otherwise would have been on the disc.
Well, and it's interesting too because I actually remember somebody. I actually found this very interesting on Melly and Ash's stream when they were playing Diablo 2, and somebody said that they didn't believe that Blizzard had lost the source code for Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, that was
which I found very interesting.
What is the source code? As
source code is the actual like original like formulation. So if you had access to the source code of a game, you could change shit.
Oh, speaking of Tiff, that's her.
Tiff!
What's her
We
cat?
summoned you.
We shouted you out, and then Rory shouted out Muffin's Instagram.
Yeah, so don't worry, you and Muffin both got shout outs.
But yeah, like it's actually really interesting. Like that's the reason why they haven't done a remake for Diablo 2 is because they don't have the source code, and they would.
And wasn't
probably...
Vanilla WoW the same problem?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
They lost the source code.
How do you
for Vanilla
lose
WoW.
the source code?
it just can
If it's
happen.
like the most important, like.
It
Listen,
sounds dumb,
Trev,
It
shit.
can happen.
but it can happen. So, fun fact: since we were actually talking about Final Fantasy VII, it happened to Final Fantasy VII. So this is actually a really interesting story. So, there's the finished version of Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. They, I can't remember how long ago, but they did a PC port for Final Fantasy VII. And when, I mean, they got the rights to do it, the people who were doing it, when they asked, like, the people for, like, Square Enix for the original, they were like, nope, we can't. Sorry. And so what they ended up having to do was they actually had to take a pre-launch copy that they still had, because there were pre-launch copies, but from the source code they just didn't have the full original anymore because they lost it. And so they actually took a pre-launch build of it and actually built onto it from there.
But
it's actually
wouldn't the source code be embedded in every single iteration they did, and they could just take it from
not
that
necessarily.
Well, I don't know how coding works because I'm nowhere near a coder, but I assume Rory could explain more on that because you've done
sorry,
coding,
yeah.
right?
Hi, Lonnie.
Sorry, I was distracted by the question. Yeah, sorry. I'm not a certified massage therapist, but I am a programmer. So I can't help you with whatever you're dealing with at the moment. Middleweight is stacked. That's true.
Excuse me. Sorry.
We'll probably mention that in a moment, actually. Actually, we probably won't because I can't talk about UFC on this podcast because no one knows talking. Source code can get lost, actually, especially with legacy games, right? Like, it's not like, okay, so what's the best way? So when you write code, right? Like, there's something that's accessible to the consumer, and there's something that's like the source code, which is what the developer did, right? So you can't get access to, like, if I give you a game, like I'll give you a game now, Trev, like you can't access the source code of that, right? Like that is like totally locked away from you. You have no permission to modify it, right? The developers have it, but as a result, if the developers lose it, they can't just get it on the disc, because if that was possible, then just people could do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. So, like, they couldn't just leave that in there because then people would be able to take it and use what they had.
So, since Square Enix no longer had the source code, they actually had to take a pre-launch build of it and go from there. And they actually basically had to reconstruct it. And so that's actually why the PC port has glitches that never showed up in the PS1 version, because it was basically an almost entirely new build. And I find it fascinating. But yes, things can just happen. I mean, there are movies that have been completely lost, and that's why they can't do things with it.
And that's why we'll never get a Diablo 2 remaster.
For a remaster, I mean, unless they ever want to do a remake.
But
a remake. Oh my god.
You're getting Diablo on your phone. That's all that matters.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Y'all have phones, right? Y'all have phones.
Phones. Oh god, I'm never gonna forget that.
So, guys, it is getting near the time we want to hop off here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a raid.
Yes. What's your face?
I like that idea because it means that I would have to. It would give me like a strong motivation to get back into watching MMA again. which is something I've wanted to do for a really long time.
72-hour
Okay,
podcast.
Kaiser, what is your obsession with 72 specifically?
He just likes to push us, you know. He just wants.
Because every time he's in Melly's chat, he's always like 72-hour stream, and then here it's 72-hour podcast, 72. It's like what specifically about 72?
I will never do a 72-hour stream.
But thank you guys so much for dropping by and hanging out with us. We'll be back next Wednesday, and we are going to talk about that Xbox thing when the time comes because it's important and
It is
also
interesting.
bad.
So yeah, we will actually talk about that.
And Vove, this would be a good time now if you want more of us. Every single episode has been highlighted, so you can go back and watch the beginnings. You can
Yes.
watch. The
Well, you
episode
can't watch the very
There's a
beginning because we've run out of highlights now.
Have we?
Yes.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one is not there anymore. I
Oh,
believe.
it's not. Wait,
Because,
hold on.
yeah, because I keep the archive, so I make sure I have a separate archive on an external hard drive.
There's a limit to the amount you
Rory
can
is
highlight.
keeper of the lore.
No, it's still
Keeper
there.
of the lore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we ran out by now. I thought we lost our
Well,
space.
for one, I didn't know there was a limit.
There's
to the
definitely a
amount.
limit. Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I should start uploading these to YouTube or something.
Yeah. I can also handle that. Mixer podcast.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Regardless.
Yeah, my buddy
Vogue,
Shroud keeps trying to get me to go over there.
Vogue,
So,
you can
know,
go
I'm
watch
stubborn.
the very first one where we talked about Wendy's for 30 minutes, and everything in between.
Yeah. Literally.
And that
Oh,
will
I
actually
believe-
introduce a bunch of people you may not know. Like, we've had Win on one, we've had Spinachy on one, we've had Classy
We've had
on
Tiff
one,
on
we've had
two.
Tiff on one, we've had...
Mhm.
We've had Ian
Megan
and
on,
Tater
we had-
and a whole bunch of people. So guys, we're gonna do a raid. I believe we're raiding
Drum roll.
Koopa. Are we raiding Koopa?
Princess Coop.
If you guys want to,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I
on.
believe- she
Yeah,
does.
definitely. And guys, if you really in
Bro,
particular like
you
any
may
of us,
know a ton of people, but
to
from
our-
this you'll know more.
all the links to our channels are down below. If you want to watch any of us separately, sort of like
Yes.
in
So
our
just go
own
below, there's
environment.
panels, click on the panel, and then it'll take you to our channel.
Yeah.
Your boss is here.
And guys, regardless of all that, we'll see you next Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday at 7:30, unless extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
and we might be back with Monster Hunter since I
It
have
will be
all
tweeted.
downloaded now.
Yes.
So if you don't follow the Twitter, go follow the Twitter. That's the official one.
Yeah.
We
guys,
don't have a blue
Twitter's
check
important.
mark,
Make sure you use
but-
Twitter a lot.
And you can
I-
also turn
yeah.
on live notifications.
Yeah, and turn on live notifications. If you don't, you're dead to us.
Right.
Wow.
Here. Right here.
So we're gonna raid Koopa, who was here earlier. Just
Is that it?
just
Over there.
this very
Yep,
day.
that's it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got it,
Over
right?
there. It's over there.
And guys, hopefully we'll see as many of you as can make it on next Wednesday. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Yeah. So thanks for coming by, and we're gonna go raid Morgan's friend.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.